All right, welcome back in. McElroy Cubelic in the morning, 8 a.m. Tuesday, October 28th, right here on Jocks. He joins us each and every Tuesday thanks to our friends at Craneworks. It's the voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah! The big dog's got it.
The voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham, on Mac and Cube in the morning is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it, the big dog's got it. Now, Andy Burcham.
Andy, always great to have you in on a Tuesday morning. Hugh Freeze changes quarterbacks at halftime. Ashton Daniels looked pretty smooth. What was your verb yesterday you used to describe it, Greg?
Comfortable.
It was something different than that. Not comfortable. What did he say, John? You remember?
Cozy.
No. It did. It's something. Greg said it perfectly yesterday. I'll have to go listen to the podcast again to figure it out. But it looked smooth. It didn't look hostile. It didn't look forced. It didn't look
controlled.
Panicked. It did look controlled. But then Hugh Freeze says it's going to be open this week. What are your expectations for that position this week against Kentucky?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think a lot of us were caught a little off guard yesterday. I think most of us thought that it would be Ashton Daniels moving forward. But Hugh Freeze at his press conference and then again last night on Tiger Talk right here on Jocks just talked about how he wants the competition at the quarterback spot. So moving forward and take away, and one thing about it, take away the pick six at the end of the half, and granted, that was a big play at the end of the first half. To that point, Auburn's offense had been running well under Jackson Arnold. I'm only guessing that is what enters the head coach's mind moving forward. I won't be surprised if it isn't Ashton Daniels that gets to start Saturday night against Kentucky. There had been talk much of this season to redshirt Ashton Daniels and have him ready to go next season. He did not go through spring ball, did not come to campus until summer, stayed at Stanford so he could graduate and would have a year left in his college eligibility. And I think just the way this season has gone, that is now off the table. I think that at this point, he'll if he does play the rest of the season, he would use all of his eligibility. So we have to see how Auburn handles that at this point. I am guessing, but I will not be surprised if Ashton Daniels isn't the starter on Saturday night. But that decision, I don't believe, has been made by the coaching staff at this point.
I think a lot of Auburn fans are probably wondering why not Deuce Knight. Cole and I know why. I'm sure you, Andy, know why. He is the highly coveted 5-star superstar future of the program. Everyone acknowledges that.
Doesn't mean it's negative, by the way.
It's not negative at
young.
all.
Hugh
He's
thinks he's going to be a superstar.
He's going to be great. I think he's going to be fantastic. He's the best thrower they have on the team. So I think a lot of fans are wondering, why not him? So, Andy, can you just, since you have intimate knowledge of the program and the situation within the program, help our listeners understand why it's not Deuce Knight at this point?
Well, I think they feel that they've got experience in front of him at this point. There is still a great deal to play for the rest of this season. I think they would like to have a full year as a redshirt for Deuce to get ready for perhaps next season. And he has, as you mentioned, he has all the physical tools needed to become a fabulous quarterback for Auburn. The size, the speed, fabulous arm as well. And I just don't think they want to rush him in and put him in the situation where perhaps it would be tough for him to succeed right now. They fully believe, and Hugh Freeze has said this, he is the future of the Auburn program. He is the future quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. And it has been that way since Auburn signed him last December. And it doesn't surprise me that they're not going to Deuce Knight right now. It is not a slight to Deuce at all. It is strictly looking at the future, and I think a very, very bright future for Deuce Knight and this Auburn program at quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely the right decision. I know that might not be popular, and I'm sorry it's not. I think it's much better to go with a guy right now that has mobility, that has a lot of mobility, and will, in time, work Deuce in. and get him comfortable. Rushing a guy onto the field, I'm not saying it can ruin him, but we've seen guys get ruined before. No need to do it. Not yet. So I think they're doing right by him. I think they're doing right by the program. When you look at where Auburn's at right now and the importance of finishing strong, I thought last week was a good win. I know a lot of people will say, well, Arkansas is not very good. Arkansas struggles defensively. I thought the plan was outstanding. I thought they shrunk the game. They did exactly what they needed to do and not overexpose their defense to unnecessary defensive snaps. I thought they played a complimentary football game this past weekend, which was welcomed. It was great. Well, now you got a team in Kentucky that you handled last year. I don't think Auburn's going to be in a position to take anybody for granted, but how do they build on last week's game?
I think they do what they did last week, and they try to do it again this week against Kentucky. I don't think you try to expand the offense this week. A year ago, that game in Lexington, Auburn won that game because of a salty young defense, and Jarquez Hunter ran for a career high that night in Lexington. Last week, Jeremiah Cobb went for 28 carries, 153 yards, and that's a career high for both of those totals. And Auburn moved the ball all day long against an Arkansas defense that has struggled, as we know. And I think you do the same thing this week against Kentucky. Now, with that said, Kentucky is much better defensively. Kentucky is very good at taking away the opponent's rush. They're giving up only 132 yards a game on the ground coming into this one. But I don't think you do anything differently from an offensive standpoint. And you try to take away what has become a very improved quarterback spot for Kentucky the last 2 weeks. If you look at Cutter Boley, he's gone for a career high. He's gone for a career high 31 of 39 against Texas, and then last week he had 33. Or he even had a better game against Tennessee in spite of losing to both of those teams. So I think Boley is improving at quarterback for Kentucky. Auburn tries to minimize and do what it has done all year long against the opponent. Now, Auburn will be tested, I think, in the run game with Dante Dowdell and Seth McGowan, although McGowan hasn't played for the last couple of weeks. We'll have to see if he plays for Kentucky.
Yeah, he was a game-time decision last week, Andy.
Yeah, it was, and he did not play. And so how, does he play this week against Auburn? We'll find that out. But I don't think you do anything differently this week than you did last week. Sure, there will be some wrinkles, but that has been Auburn's best offense so far. The run game has been Auburn's best offense so far. You did it against Baylor at Baylor, and you did it last week in your first SEC win at Arkansas. I think Auburn does the same thing this coming Saturday night at home against Kentucky.
What is the coaching staff saying about the offensive line moving forward? Cale Ellis has done a pretty good job. Now, some of the snaps have got to be cleaned up, and that needs to be a little bit more accurate, more consistently, but they're still rolling in. Too Tall Miller, getting some guys different reps in different places. What's sort of the feel, the mindset for the rest of the season with that group?
Well, and his snaps, Cale's snaps were better this week than they were in the loss, 2 weeks ago, in the overtime loss, when they lost Connor Lew for the rest of the season. I thought he played well for Auburn up front. Can you improve? Absolutely, each and every week. But I thought he played well for Auburn. It's great to have a Too Tall Miller that can play for you at guard. He can play for you at tackle. I thought Auburn offensive line last week was as good as it's been in quite some time. They did a decent job protecting the quarterback, and they ran the football. They opened up holes all day long for Jeremiah Cobb. So I don't think you make any changes up front offensively for this team. I thought it played well last week, and you move forward with Cale Ellis, and you continue to surround him with a lot of experience with Wade and Wright on both sides at the guards. And I thought it was Auburn's best game on the offensive front in quite some time last week. And I thought Cale Ellis improved from his first week as a backup and then getting to play when Connor Lew went down to his first collegiate start at the age of 17, the youngest player in the FBS right now.
Did
you say that 57 times in the broadcast against Missouri? Did you make sure to get that in on every snap?
He's 14.
Just about, yeah.
Playing college football. It's unbelievable. I don't know how he does it. Truly amazing. As you look at what's remaining on the schedule, you never want to get too far ahead. This week, if you play well, you should be in control of this game. Let's just be real. But as you look at the games down the stretch, what are the games that the Auburn fans feel are must win down the stretch to feel good about salvaging a season? Because Mercer's probably a win. You feel pretty good about Kentucky. You got to feel good about going bowling. As it come down to splitting between Vandy and Bama, what do you think will kind of turn the narrative of this team from failure to success? What needs to happen in the Final Four games?
Well, that's a good question, and I don't think this team is looking anywhere past Kentucky. So I guess I'm speaking for the Auburn family right now, and that can be dangerous as well at this point. You need to beat Kentucky this week. There's no question about that. For anything to gain momentum for the rest of the season, you've got to add a win against Kentucky to last week's win against Arkansas. And then it comes down, I think, to next week at Vanderbilt. And that's a Vandy team right now that is a top 10 team. It's a team that is a playoff team right now. And you're playing in Nashville. Now, Auburn lost to Vanderbilt last year here. And you're going to Nashville where they have not lost so far. Again, you've got to get past this week. Everything to me hinges on this week for this team. And then you go to Vanderbilt next week. And yeah, perhaps if you can split between Vanderbilt and Alabama, I think you have a better feel. If you can win both of those, then all of a sudden the momentum is completely moving forward, and you go to the bowl season and you're getting ready for the 2026 season at that point. But again, nothing is more important than what you do this week against Kentucky. Can you build on the momentum of getting your first SEC win, doing it on the road last week against Arkansas? If you don't do that against Kentucky this week, you're right back in the same boat, I believe you were when you went to Arkansas last week.
Where's the health of this team right now, Andy, heading into this game with Kentucky?
Better with Darrell Robinson, because Darrell Robinson has been cleared. He's practicing. I think Auburn expects him to play. That gives you some more depth in the tailback room, along with Jeremiah Cobb and Omar Mabson the second.
Man, that's amazing. That's great news
That's
based on the stories that were coming out of that thing.
That is fabulous news. So you've got some depth there with Darrell Robinson. Horatio Fields is still out at the wide receiver
Is he
spot.
getting
I don't
close?
know when. I just reading the tea leaves because Hugh Freeze was asked about that yesterday. I don't get the idea that he's getting really close at this point. If he is, they're keeping it very close to the vest.
Yeah.
But he is a guy that would give Auburn. You hear them talk about Horatio Fields, and they talk as much about his ability on the field. They talk about his leadership ability off the field and in the huddles and that type of thing. So they desperately want to get him back. If they can't, they'd love to get a redshirt year out of him and have him coming back with that wide receiver class. Beyond that, I think Auburn is about as healthy as you can be this late in the season, other than, of course, Connor Lew being done for the rest of the year. But getting Darrell Robinson back really helps the Auburn team. How much he plays on Saturday remains to be seen.
Yeah, because that's been a pretty heavy workload the last, I guess, 2 weeks. So you need to kind of spread the wealth in those carries a little bit here down the stretch.
Right, and Cobb is not the biggest guy in that running back room, but I mean he was terrific last week. 28 carries, 153 yards. But to say that he does that each and every week, I think that could be problems. So I think getting Darrell back and being able to give some carries to Darrell and to Omar Mabson, the third or the second, I think would certainly help in that running back room for the Auburn Tigers.
No doubt about it. Andy, always great stuff. We appreciate the time. We know each and every week you're brought to us by Craneworks.
And RentalWorks offers a full line of rental equipment for any type of your machinery needs. They offer full operators for every type of equipment as well. They can supply the equipment you need plus the man to do the job. Go to craneworks.com for a quote in Birmingham, Nashville, Mobile, and Huntsville. Cole, do we have you back on the plains this weekend?
You do. I'll be back. So look forward to seeing you down there. We won't be in the same building, though, will we?
No.
You guys are in the new press box?
Correct. Yes.
Hopefully I'll see you before the game then.
I hope to. Mac, where are you heading?
I'm heading to Austin, Texas. Vanderbilt Commodores.
Well, that'll be what a great game that is. Can you believe that? This late in the season, Vanderbilt, Texas.
It's pretty awesome. Let's hope Arch can play. Fingers crossed.
Indeed. Well, you guys have a great one.
Thank you, Andy.
See you, bud.
Good to talk with you.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
Great
Take care.
stuff.
War Eagle.
Andy Burcham joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, brought to us each and every Tuesday by Craneworks. Matthew Caldwell, though, has experience, has played. It felt like had a good feel for the system last week when he was forced into the game. I don't know if if that's the worst thing for Texas. I mean, he completed one pass, but it's a good-looking ball.
1 for 1.
Yeah. Touchdown.
What's the QBR on a 1-for-1 touchdown?
100. 100.
Max?
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's 100. I think you can go over 100, though. Can you not, QBR?
I don't know.
That's one of those mystery formulas that I've wondered how it can be over 100 sometimes. Maybe that was something else. I don't know. Archer's 29 of 46, 346, 3 touchdowns and a pick.
Yep.
Ran 10 times for 6 yards, but his legs did save him a few times. He had a rushing touchdown.
He played well.
He did some good things. He still gives you those whoa passes every now and then. Like, wow, how?
Yeah, but it was
like
better.
The little ball to the left in the flat when it's like 4 yards short of the. I'm just kind of like, all right, calm down. I still think it's about him just calming down a little bit.
I think there's a lot of pressing there.
Yeah. But that's going to be an interesting game because I think the matchup is not great for Texas.
I think Texas's defense matches up pretty well. I don't love the way their offense matches up.
No, and I thought the Vanderbilt defense played as fast as any defense I've seen this year. And to be doing that this late in the year, I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now, there are parts of the Texas defense that's playing that way. Zero's playing that way. And when it's fun and it's cool, 11 is playing that way, and 8 plays that way. But those two will be tested in this game in very different ways. And I can imagine an edge defender, when you play this Vanderbilt offense, they're going to put you in conflict. And it's not just, zone read or flat line option. They put you in conflict in the passing game, in run support, and it can be frustrating. So if those guys get taken out of their life is cool game, how do they react to that? That's what I want to see. Yep. I want to see Ethan Burke, Trey Moore, Colin Simmons in those frustrating moments after they get put in conflict positions 15, 18 times in this game.
Yeah.
How hard they're playing after that.
Fair.
Because Hill's going to play hard no matter what. I'm not worried about him. And then, he's going to give you great reps. Anthony Hill Jr. at linebacker. I think Lee Fowl is going to give you great. He's going to fly around no matter what. You don't have to worry about him. And the interior guys have been fine. And you will get some runs in the A-gaps, but they're not going to try to live there.
No.
So I think this comes down to an edge defender, do you get frustrated game, and secondary being patient game for the Texas defense.
Yep.
But here's the problem. How many possessions are you going to get if you're Texas?
Big question.
So if you chunk 2 of them away with some dirt balls or take a sack, you down to what, 6 possessions maybe after that? You punt twice. Okay, we're down to 4 possessions. Mm-hmm. Better make them count.
Better
make them count.
Here's the other thing I'd say about this. I think this is a dangerous game to be playing hero ball.
He hasn't been doing it, though.
Diego?
He has not been doing it.
Not saying he has.
Now, he had one against Missouri late in the game, rolling to his left, and he almost went fadeaway jumper, and he actually did, but he threw it past everybody. But when you were watching him, he started drifting a little bit, and you're like, oh, here it comes.
Yep.
He's going to try to throw this ball, and he can't get it down there. It's not going to be good. And he threw it earlier than he normally would have, which put it past the receiver. He had a couple. The last 2-3 games, he's had a couple throwaways, which he doesn't do a whole lot. I think he's been very protective with the ball and with the offense. Now, he'll still give you a couple every now and then, but it's like the fumble against Alabama. That wasn't him trying to be hero ball. Like, he just is a great play, knocked the ball out.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's really, I'll give him credit. He's kept it in check in that department the last couple games. I haven't seen him be real loose with the football.
I agree with you. My question to you, is it in there?
Always.
Okay.
It's his DNA.
And what happened when John Mateer tried to play hero ball against Texas? Didn't go very well.
No.
So that's my only fear is that big game, big stage, big platform. Does he try to do too much? Because
But here's the difference, in my opinion, Greg. That's about all Oklahoma has right now.
well, I don't disagree, but I also understand too that Diego Pavia, just as a player, as a competitor,
As a human, yeah, it's in there.
as
I
a
agree with
human
you.
being, he has a natural propensity to want to take over the game. And Texas's defense requires patience. You're not going to get a lot of big plays. You're not going to be super efficient on first down running the football all the time. You're not going to, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to earn it, and it's going to require patience. So that's just the one thing that I would be super, super, super mindful of if I were coaching Diego Pavia this week. Dude, take what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
Our defense will battle in this game. They will be fine. Our defense will play well. You, Diego, need to play smart. I need you to play the smartest game of your career. Because if you start trying to do too much, look at what happened to John Mateer. And guess what? Look what happened to you last year when you played against this team. Don't do too much. You are a great player. Just stay within the system.
It's a good point, because when you start doing those things you're talking about, that's when the athleticism becomes most valuable.
That's
for
where
Texas.
I think Texas is just very disciplined. Like, they are really well coached on that side of the ball. You could say whatever you want about the individual players. They're really well coached on that side of the ball, and they require patience. Playing against them requires tremendous patience. And that's not easy to do for a guy like Diego Pavia from an emotional standpoint.
No. All right, so we've got plenty of time to break that game down. I want to take a little bit of a peek back to this past weekend, some games we didn't get through, talk about those. We'll spend a little more time on Auburn, Arkansas, Alabama, South Carolina, all that and more next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 800-239-9569 if you want to get in. 800-239-WJOX. Before we get to some games from over the weekend, some local games first. Troy took down the Cajuns 35-23. Magic City Classic, Alabama State with a massive win. 56-13. Andrew Bodie goes 19-24 for 304 passing, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He ran 7 times for 76 yards and a touchdown. Jabari K. Kendall, 7 catches, 101 yards and a touchdown. 7 rushes, 101 yards and a touchdown. And then Jalen Jones, 7 catches, 156 yards and a touchdown. Alabama State goes to 5-2. Alabama A&M 4-4. Sanford goes down to Chattanooga, 49-13. Sanford 1-7. 3 quarterbacks went 22 for 44 for 248, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Austin P took down UNA 56-28. How about Chris Person for Austin P? 17-24, 311 passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 12 rushes, 53 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's 6 touchdowns for the young man. And West Alabama drops their second consecutive game. They're now 5-2. Delta State takes them out 41-38. Delta State 7-1 on the season. Before we go into some SEC and national college football games, GMAC, tell our listeners about Bromberg's.
Well, Bromberg's the go-to for a long time. Has been for 190 years they've been around. In this community, continue to serve you at the highest possible level, and the selection is amazing. You walk in the door, the sales staff's knowledgeable, they help you. And obviously, I don't know what I'm buying when I'm getting a natural diamond. I have no idea. I know nothing about that world. I know, however, that my best interests are always taken into account when I walk into Bromberg's and deal with the incredible sales staff. They're just the best. It's the only place I've shopped since we've been back. It's the only place I'll continue to shop for as long as we're living here in Birmingham. They're not taking me out of here for a very long time. I can assure you that. So the very best, go get you a natural diamond. Go get that timeless jewelry. Tremendous giftware available as well. Perfect for the holiday season to go buy something seasonal if you're going to be hosting this holiday season. So to discover the latest natural diamond jewelry or all the other incredible things that Bromberg's has in store for you, go and see them in Mount Brook Village and at the Summit. You can always go online as well at brombergs.com.
Let's try to roll through the SEC first. We mentioned a little bit of Texas and Mississippi State. Texas gets to win 45-38. Another heartbreaker for Mississippi State. And I've heard a lot of State fans that are kind of down after this, just, hard to be a State fan, can't take this anymore. Guys, you're close, man.
So close.
It's going to come. They're going to get a win here in the rest of this season. I think they'll get a conference win. You're there. It's just you got to learn how to win games, and that comes with experience, time, operating together. Blake Shapen throws for 381, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Davin Booth was great for Mississippi State in this game, catching the ball and running the football. Shapen did put the ball on the ground, though. Lost a fumbled twice. But Arch Manning, Texas, and Matthew Caldwell just in overtime, Greg, able to get this thing done. It's a gutsy win for Texas. You give them credit. Brutal loss for Mississippi State, but I don't want to hear people throwing in the towel on Jeff Lebby and thinking that this team is not making progress, because they absolutely are.
They're not even
24
close.
points in the fourth can't have that, but still, it's they're on the way. I'm just have confidence. Is all I'm
They're
saying.
so much better than last year. It's not even close. Surely they acknowledge that. Surely they see that, right?
I just think it's tough losing games like this. I get that. I understand that. I can sympathize with that. But
I get it. I'm not saying you had to accept it. I'm just saying
there are a
you have
couple
to
of people that are a
acknowledge
little
the
too far
progress.
down the path there, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm with you. Thoughts on that game? Anything?
Yeah,
else?
I mean, it's kind of a miraculous rally by Texas. I mean, see what they did offensively to get the punt return. I mean, there's a lot to like about what Texas did down the stretch. And I would be crushed if I were Mississippi State, because there have been now how many games in which it's like, oh, here we go again. Like, you got to stop that. You got to finish. And that's frustrating. Great teams. And I hate to use this as an example. Ole Miss is a great example. Ole Miss, very similar situation. Felt like they were in complete control of the game against Oklahoma. And then they finished. We all know what they didn't do the week before. They didn't finish against Georgia. They couldn't manufacture anything in the fourth quarter. They couldn't get a stop. So great teams learn how to finish and learn how to close the gap and learn how to shut it down. And they're not there yet, but the progress is remarkable, at least at this point, in my eyes.
It's absolutely there. And it's a little disappointing for me to see some of the comments coming out of it. Not all. Not all State fans, but a couple who are just kind of like, can't take this anymore. I can't live like this. It's going to get there. It's fine. You're making progress. You're taking steps. Gutsy win, though, for Texas. We finally got the Ryan Wingo we kind of been waiting on. He was big in this game, 5 for 184. They were able to get to the quarterback specifically late. Anthony Hill Jr. was awesome in this game. I mean, 10 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 3.5 TFLs. He might be the best defensive player in the league. And he hadn't gotten a lot of the love that I think we thought he was going to get this year, but he has been every bit of what we expected him to be. He's been incredible. But I think because the team's been a little bit of a letdown, he hadn't really been getting the run, I think, that a lot of people thought that he would. But Texas gets that win. They go to 6-2, and Mississippi State goes to 4-4, 0-4 in the Southeastern Conference. I do think that you think they get one down the stretch, Mississippi State?
Yes, I do. I think they'll get one. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the Egg Bowl. I really wouldn't. But I also, at the same time, feel like the best chance to get one has passed. Like, the best chance to get one was against Tennessee and or against Texas. Those are your two best shots. I think now it's going to require a level of flawlessness that we haven't seen from them to get a win in the next few games.
All right, Texas A&M and LSU.
Granted, Arkansas. Do you feel good about them getting Arkansas?
Yes.
So I think they'll get one. I think they'll get Arkansas. But
got a chance to get more than one.
To get a big one. To get one that the fans are really going to be fired up about. Are they going to be fired up about beating Arkansas?
You should, because it's been a minute since you won an SEC game. So
I get it.
Be fired up about it. And it's okay to celebrate it. It's probably okay to over-celebrate it. I won't be mad at you. Nobody should.
Yeah.
Specifically with how you've lost a couple games this year. All right, A&M takes down LSU 49-25. We spent most of the day on Brian Kelly being ousted at LSU. This does get him fired. A&M goes to 8-0, now number 3 in the nation. Do not try to convince McElroy they have the 2 best wins in college football. But it was a nice win at LSU.
Do you agree?
At night.
Do you agree?
That they had the 2 best wins in college football?
Yes.
No, I think I clarified that yesterday.
Okay, just making sure.
Nussmeier, 22 of 35, 168. What was the situation with him getting benched? Because I didn't watch the game live. He was taken out, but was he benched like for performance? Is that the way it appeared to be?
I mean, it didn't seem like performance to me.
It was like, this game's out of hand. We don't want you to get hurt kind of deal?
He didn't look comfortable throughout the game. Like, his oblique didn't look comfortable. Like, he looked unhealthy. Like, he has kind of all year.
Yeah. All right, Marcel Reed, 12 of 21, 202, 2 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. He ran 13 for 108, 2 touchdowns. He was great leaving the pocket. He made great decisions when to get out, and he made great cuts when he decided to leave, made defenders wrong. He made LSU pay for playing man defense, and I think he knew it. And when he saw maybe things that were going to be covered up or a safety roll in one direction early, he tucked the ball and ran, and he made them pay. But I think they are getting close to where Colin Klein and Mike Elko kind of wanted this whole thing to be, where he is a pocket passer that utilizes his legs when he needs to, not when he wants to. And there were a couple design quarterback runs in there, but they're not living on it. And I have this debate in studio on Monday every single week because there's multiple people in Charlotte, Greg, that talk about this kid like he should win the Heisman. And I think he's had a great year. I think he does some great things. But 2 inexplicable interceptions. Just, there's nothing you can do to convince me that those are okay. Now, the reason they're okay, it's actually funny that Brian Kelly's on the other side of this. We talked about Brian Kelly and Jaden Daniels and like, we want you to throw an interception. The reason it's okay is because your defense is incredible.
Yes.
And you have playmakers on offense that are going to give you a lot more opportunities to go score more touchdowns after you throw an interception. So therefore, yes. But if those were super high risk down the field, explosive play potential interceptions, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. But you're trying to spit a ball out into the flat and you throw it right to a defense. Like, I just can't. And there are a couple of misses. And then 2, I don't think a lot of people give the receivers enough credit for the run after the catch.
The receivers are
amazing. Receivers help him a ton.
Those receivers are so good.
So he gives them explosive play capability with his legs.
His legs are a problem.
I agree.
Like, I don't know what you did. I think he should run more.
Well, I think they want to save him. And I think they want to try to do as much building in the pocket as they can until they have to lean on his legs.
Yeah.
I think there'll come a game when Colin Klein will say, all right, you got to run the ball 18 times this game. Like, that's the only way for us to win.
We're going to need you to tote the rock.
Yep. And that'll come. I think he'll be fine attempting that. But I'm concerned about some of the decision-making with a few of the throws.
The throw in the end zone was a bad decision. It's stick nod, piece of cake, and you don't see the free safety. And that's the one thing you got to acknowledge is see the free safety. Here's where I can't be too critical. I threw the exact same interception on the exact same play against Arkansas in 2010. So been there, done that. Get it. Frustrating. You think you can get the stick nod bends too near, the free safety gets underneath it. Pick. So, been there, happens. Hate it for you. My thing with him though is he's so dynamic as a ball carrier. Like I like him. I think he kind of is who he is as a thrower. I'm not sure at this point this season he's going to all of a sudden turn into a guy that will just carve you to death. But man alive, his wideouts are dynamic.
They're so good.
So it doesn't really matter. Like, do you need to be super accurate, super dialed in? The off-target percentage leads, it's the highest in the SEC. And yet it doesn't really matter because the wideouts are that good. Now, you get into the playoff, you get to conference championship games, you play against really opportunistic defenses that will fool you with their disguises and things like that. Yeah, that's a concern. But at that point, he might be a run first guy, which to me is where I'd want to live if I were in a win or go home type of scenario with Texas A&M right now.
All right, so but at the end of the day, as we stated, this defense is incredible. The front is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius Howell is turning into elite edge defender.
Yes.
Big time player. And you've got DJ Hicks up front that causes problems. TJ Searcy can cause problems. They're going to give you different pressure looks that they can cause problem with. Taryn York does a great job when he's asked to pressure. They all do a great job running at the quarterback with their hands up and not leaving their feet, which is just so rare. No one does it. No one does it, and this team collectively does it all the time. It's super impressive. I know it's a little bitty thing, but it happens all the time, and it affects quarterbacks. And these other quarterbacks will give you not even a half of a pump fake. Like they give you a little shoulder shrug, and these guys are leaving their feet, and then they run around them, and they turn it into a 10-yard gain, or they hit the outlet pass, and next thing you know, it's 10 yards, 12 yards, whatever it is. They live to fight another day. These guys don't do that. They're an impressive group. What is their secondary right now? What do you make of the A&M secondary?
I don't know because they never get stressed.
It's kind of like we talked about with Oklahoma last week, and I think we found out. Secondary might not be great, but
might not need to be.
It's totally fair.
Who do you have right now that you think can block them in all of college football?
So we'll talk about that on the other side. These teams that have these fronts that are so problematic, who can kind of handle them? I'll tell you one group that I would have confidence that might be able to is the team wearing the same uniform. They might be able to handle them.
Yeah.
Before we do that, tell our listeners about Canty.
Well, Canty can fix it. They are the foundation specialist here in the area that's done a great job. They're new to the area, but man, they have done a ton of great work in the Southeast in the past. They're the local experts when it comes to foundation repair, crawl space, basement, concrete solutions. There are a million different factors here in Alabama that can lead to foundation issues: soil shifting, moisture, weather, even the age of your home. So if you're noticing concrete sinking or uneven driveways, if you're noticing gaps between crown molding, baseboards, and or around doors and windows, if you're noticing moisture or musty smells or wood rot in the crawl space, that's an indication that you might need to have someone come out and look at your foundation or basement. Canty Foundation Specialists offer free inspections and estimates so homeowners know exactly what's going on under their house, and their work is backed by lifetime transferable warranties. Call them today at 205-509-3991 or go online to Canty, that's Cantey, canfixit.com. That's Canty, canfixit.com.
All right, we'll continue talking A&M, protection, pressures, defensive lines next right here on Jocks. Welcome back in, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It is 8:44, Tuesday, October 28th, right here on Jocks. We're going to continue talking some college football, but if you're looking for that new ride, save big at Royal Buick GMC. Here are some of the discounts you're going to find. Get a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT Premium Plus with a sunroof and the 6.2-liter engine. List price at $70,559, reduced to $55,559. That's a savings of $15,000. Check out the 2026 Encore GX SUV loaded with the Avenir trim package. That thing is beautiful, by the way. It lists $38,040. Buy it today for $32,040. Take advantage of a $6,000 price reduction. All offers valid through November 3rd, 2025. Save money and upgrade your ride at Royal Buick GMC, home of the $75 dock fee. Royal Buick GMC, corner of I-65, Highway 31 of Vestavia. Online at royalbuickgmc.net. And remember, for every ride, there's Royal. All right, so talking a little bit of Texas A&M, who can block them was Greg's question that he asked before we went to break. And if you go nationally, I think you have maybe a few others that I would feel somewhat confident being able to do it. By the time that they play, I think Ohio State might be able to. I would have some confidence in them being able to do it right now. But I also think, Greg, it's not just going to be the offensive line. It's going to be the system in which you kind of wonder or look at, say, can they handle this group? Can they block this group? Like, let's say Georgia Tech, for instance. I don't know, just guy for guy, dude for dude, can they block them up? But because of how they operate, you could give them enough problems, make them think enough, make them wrong enough to where you would be able to manage it just a little bit better. From a tackle perspective, that's where I think Ohio State would have some big advantages.
Yeah.
I think Oregon would have some chances. I actually think Ole Miss, with the way they operate, would have a pretty good chance. Miami would be a team that I think could have some success against them. But just going to be honest with you, there's not many groups that I look at and say, oh, yeah, they'll be okay. They'll be fine against them. Because it's not just Cassius Howell. And also you have to think, too, you're not just the individuals. It's the different looks and the pressures. They pressure you from depth. They pressure you with overloads. They pressure you simulated where they're going to walk guys up and drop them. I mean, they give you everything. Inside moves, outside moves, games, twists, stunts. They throw everything at you. So not only do you have to have a group that has good offensive linemen that are physically capable of handling their one-on-ones, you got to have a group that probably, one, doesn't rely on slide quick protection or gap protection because they can attack that. That you're not going to be able to live there based on how Elko draws it up. And then number two, you got to be able to handle them when you do get them one-on-one. So you got to have a group that's smart and a group that can manage things well. And that's what's hard to find a lot of times in today's college football because that's why everybody's so reliant on these quick protections. Their groups can't manage those types of looks.
Well, I think part of the problem, though, with Texas A&M is when they just line up and play, they're plenty good enough. But all the other stuff in addition to it, sometimes they're their own worst enemy. I do think that that's a hard team to play against. It's a team that's difficult to corral. But at the same time, when I look at A&M, I think just mano-a-mano, there's not many teams across the front that can win those four matchups on a down-in, down-out basis. Not many. I don't think Ohio State can. I think they can get behind the sticks a couple times and make plays behind the line of scrimmage. But I also think that the right offensive scheme can gash them. Like the right offensive scheme in the run game could gash them pretty good. I just don't know who's going to commit to that. And honestly, I think their best attributes are offense still. I know that that's maybe not like the most popular sentiment, but their offense to me is super dynamic. I think Colin Klein's done a really nice job. I think guys catching the ball are ridiculous. I think Marcel Reed with the ball in his hands is ridiculous. I love their offensive line. So I think their offense is still their best attribute. So if I were them, I would just play maybe slightly less aggressive defensively because I think that if I just play bend, don't break, I'm not saying you need to be like passive or whatnot, bend, don't break, and then tee off in the red zone, that would be kind of how I'd approach it because I think I can outscore just about everybody I play.
So UTSA went for 203 on the ground. Notre Dame 136 on the ground. Arkansas 268 on the ground. Those are the only teams over 100 rushing this year. But you look at mobile quarterback, not so much in the case of Notre Dame in that game, but with what UTSA and what Arkansas was able to do, how they did it, that it goes back to what you're saying about that formula that you would want to have, and why I think it's even more important to rely on that offense. What happens when your offense is rolling? What do you do to the other team? You put pressure on them to go get points, right? What do you probably have to do when you do that? Pass the ball. What does A&M do better than anybody? Rush the passer. So, yes, I agree with you. Offense, stay aggressive. Offense, your best friend, because then Cassius Howell and those guys just get to tee off. And that's when they get to stand across the line of scrimmage and tell you that they're going to ruin your life. And then probably do on the next play. So I would be with you on that as to how they need to operate and how they do operate. A couple other games around the SEC that we want to get to. We will get to those in just a few minutes. Don't forget, you can listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download that for free. You can watch us live on YouTube each and every day. All you have to do is search Jocks945 or tell your home smart speaker to enable the Jock skill.
Bill Smith Buick GMC is the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. They've won it 5 years in a row. They've won it 8 times overall. And the reason why is because they give you better deals than anybody else. Like a GMC Sierra 2500 Denali. It's a beautiful truck. Nearly $90,000 is what you pay locally. Take the short drive to Coleman, you save $12,000. $77,715 is what you pay when you shop at Bill Smith. And deals like that to keep people coming back. There's a reason why 75% of their business is repeat customers. That's because you have a better experience when you shop with Bill Smith. I've bought 3 vehicles from him. I'll buy my next one from him as well. I've just had too good of an experience at Bill Smith Buick to ever consider going somewhere else. So take the short route to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online, have it delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
All right, we'll talk more about the SEC games from this past weekend next on Jocks. Before we get back into football, I have big news. We mentioned it early in the show. that we weren't going to go into it today. Well, now we are. NBA news. Are you ready for this, Greg?
Always.
Ha! You have a new team, a new favorite team.
In basketball?
Yep. Be ready to adopt the Indiana Pacers. Probably asking me why. There has been a multi-year contract signed by
Mac McClung.
Zen?
that would make more sense.
Oh, okay.
But yes, Mac McClung has signed a multi-year contract with the Indiana Pacers.
Their farm system?
Nope.
Minor league
First standard NBA contract for McClung. So we've opened up the door to the dunk contest again. We now have a reason to watch the Pacers late in games when they're up or down.
deal? Really, really up or down?
Look, they lost Tyrese for a bit. That fan base needs someone to root for, and seems like it'll be Mac.
Austin Reeves scored 51 points in the game. Mac McClung can't. We're going to have load management for these guys. The star players are going to be on the bench at some point. He's going to get minutes. Will there be a car on the court during a regular season game he can jump over? That's all I need to know.
Does he need a Superman cape?
No, he is Superman.
So is Dwight, but that didn't stop him.
So there you go. Your NBA reigning dunk champion. Now on an NBA roster. Are you excited?
Very.
You should be. Almost excited as you should be if you know about the Gusty Goulas Group. Why? Well, they can help you get into a new home here in Central Alabama. Serves more than 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area. Over 855-star Google reviews. Since 2012, the Gusty Goulas Group has been recognized nationally and locally as greater Birmingham, Alabama's #1 team in homes sold. Most agents start marketing after you list with him, not Gusty. He doesn't do that. His aggressive, improving selling system is one you can trust. Call 205-542-1996 today or go to GustyGoulasGroup.com. That's GustyGoulasGroup.com. You see the button at the top right-hand portion of your page. Smash that button for very little information. Find out what they think they can get for your home. Brokered by eXp Realty. 205-542-1996 or visit GustyGoulasGroup.com today.
Not just your defending champ, your 3-time defending champ.
Who knew?
He's won 3 times?
Literally, who knew?
3 straight.
3 championships.
Unfortunately, the Pacers are not in action tonight.
Ah, dang it.
You have to wait till tomorrow.
All right, I'll watch the Dodgers.
Everyone load managing.